When Penglon showed me the work, must be 7 or 8 years ago, I thought it was very pure. You're starting with minimalism, you're starting with an idea of using charcoal or using 1 or 2 colors or using 1 or 2 elemental shapes and not doing more than that. The constant idea is don't do more. And I think it's something that can work in sentences. You know, if you're writing fiction, you don't need to add an explanation. You don't need the next paragraph. Just leave the paragraph there as it is. You know, you don't need to explain someone's motives. You don't need an adjective. You don't need an adverb. You actually just need to describe what the thing is. The top part is the actual paper. It's untouched. And then the bottom part is charcoal. But from just leaving the paper alone, you don't touch the paper. Notice you don't have the sun. You know, you don't have the sun or stars. You don't have a bird. You just leave it. Put nothing on it. And that idea of using nothing, I mean, you can see it everywhere, that there's a constant sense, even being very careful with shadow and super careful with light. In other words, you really, really like scarce light. And the idea of knowing when to leave a painting alone is the hardest thing to do, even with a page of fiction. If you're writing a novel, you can put in too many feelings. You can put in too many words, you can put too many adjectives, you can put in too many explanations of people's motives. That there's a constant sense of tact, of knowing when not to do something, knowing when to leave things alone. I mean, if you look at any work here, that you can see that anyone else might have added something. If you look at that, it's immensely suggestive. It's tactful, but it leaves in the possibility of shadow, that in behind those colors there's something else. So there's a depth in it as well. The statement is in shadow. It's not a direct statement. I mean, in other words, if you think about the feeling that contains, it's actually quite suggestive without being fully explicit. The audiences were great, just hugely. People have a funny way of saying to you, I love this paragraph, or I love this, you know, like they're really nice, really kind.
And so what's happened here is that there's a growing audience of serious people, curious people, who are curious about the world and curious about form and how you would tell a story, how characters appear. And that's a growing audience. I mean, it's with bigger and better bookshops, with more and more books being translated. So, you know, it's a huge excitement if you're a novelist and you find there's an audience available, there's an audience growing